Hello and welcome back to Alteryx Weekly Challenge with me, Nick Bignell. This is challenge number 33. This time we're looking at a couple of things. We're looking at a date time pass or conversion and also to create a macro. So a customer has a need to convert date time strings into a date time format. Examples of the different format inputs include 4/8/2015 4:00 and 5/10/2015 13:00. The conversion is automatic when the hours are 2 digits, 10 and 24, but ignores hours 1 to 9, creating nulls on the conversion. Objective is to create a macro that effectively converts and preserves the data in a date time format. Okay, so we'll look at the data. We have this, which I'm guessing is in American format, given that we've got a 25 and a in the middle and a 31 in the middle. So suggesting that those are the days rather than the months. What we've got to have in terms of results is the first column is still the same, although we now have zeros at the beginning of these three hours and minutes, and then we have an actual date time, real date time output. Okay, so let's start with we want to start with a date time. We can bring that straight in. Now the community website says to create the macro, create the workflow first before you create the macro. So now we need to specify what the format that matches the incoming string field. Okay, so this is what we're going to do, is create the second column first and then use that to it. So in this we have this month, day, year, and then hours and minutes. So I think we can just tick on this one, this month, day, year, hours, minutes, seconds, and I'm pretty sure that will work. Let's run that, and you can see we now have, and if we look at the results, we now have it in this column here, this date timeout, in the same format as we want in terms of the results. So that's good, but we still have the first column not in the right format. So what I'm proposing to do is just use a date time pass again, and this time switch it to be from date to string as opposed from string to date. And the one we want to, we are select the format of the new column is what we want here. So it was this, but I think what we'll do is we'll custom it, because it's we don't need the seconds there. So what we'll do is simply put in two capital M's, then DD, then YYYY for Y's space HH MM. And you can see here the example output is given it in the format for the 2nd of January 2000. So if we run that, what we now have is a second date time underscore out with the right format as we want here. So let's just bring in a select, and what we can do there is we can rename this date underscore time, so it's in line. We can untick that one, and we can move this one up one. But what that will do is put it in exactly the same order as we have up here. So those are the same, but we need to create a macro. So if we just put a browse on the end here, but what we just need is these particular ones. So to create a macro, what we're going to do is we're going to copy that. We're going to open another canvas and paste them onto that new canvas. Now there's no incoming stream, so we need to create a macro input to create that input, and then we'll create an output as well. Now what we're missing here is any data in here, so at least one field must be selected. So we need some data in this text input, so it's got an idea of what it's going to need. Now we can just pick up a sample. Let's just take it from here, and let's just take the first 2 records, and we'll copy it with the header, and then move it over here, and then edit the data. Now if we get a pop-up, you might not be able to see that in this. you get a pop-up with that. Put in those two records and we should have now a macro that does it. So what we then just do is we save as, and I'm going to save this somewhere local. I'm going to call this challenge macro and save. Okay, so if we then go back to our normal canvas, what we can do is insert, and if you do right click and insert, and then right at the bottom you've got a macro list, and your new macro is there. I mean, if you really want to, you can put a picture and whatever you want here to make it look good. So if you bring in a string there, and we bring in a browse here, and then run it, we then get the results. So rather than just the two that we put in the data on the macro, we now have all of them. Easy as that. Thanks so much for watching. See you again next time.